All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to TI6 Group Stages. This is going to be a best of two between Fnatic and DC, both teams hoping to seed themselves nicely into the main event. DC had a pretty unfortunate series last time, very long games, and in the end ended up going 1-1. Fnatic previously were up against eHome. eHome took them 2-0. So this is going to be an interesting matchup here. See who's ready to fight, who's got that winning attitude. I'm Android. I'm being joined once again by Winter. How are you feeling about this matchup?
Hmm. I think DC had a much better performance in their last series, and Fnatic looked really lackluster in their loss against eHome. So based on that series, I would say DC are in better shape, but they had a short break, so Fnatic had a talk with their coach. Who knows, maybe they have made the correct adjustments to what they have to do to play better and to improve their overall team play and composition.
Yeah, both of these teams probably a little bit exhausted. Again, DC having like a 75-minute matchup earlier today, so they're see if they can keep themselves fresh, get that endurance going. And now first pick goes the way of DC. We're gonna see a Shadow Demon picked up, and a little bit triggered there. Mirana first banned out, so they're not gonna be able to follow up with the arrows. What's the play here for Shadow Demon? How do you get the most use out of him?
Well, generally you just pair him with a illusion-based hero or use SD Disrupt as a initiation for we saw from eHome, the Torrent, or sometimes the Arrow. He's a very good hero overall. Like he's very good in the early game, very good in the mid game, very good in the late game. Very flexible pick.
Yeah, I mean, we still have Elder Titan in the pool. Oh, there we go. He's going to be first picked up. Obviously, Mirana taking his place as that first priority ban. Nyx and Batrider banned out from DC. They've been doing their homework on Fnatic, but Elder Titan definitely brings a lot of tempo here. And they get the Faceless Void as well, so two priority bans go the way of Fnatic. How is that going to affect their playstyle?
Well, Elder Titan and FE synergizes well with each other in terms of you set up for the Earth Splitter and you don't want to give away SD and Elder Titan together as well as a package to DC. It's very good setup for the Storm with the Disrupt. Um, right now, DC responded with the Alchemist. They're gonna want to go late game with their heroes. Oh my gosh, how many games we've seen today? All the illusions. Disrupt illusions, Manta Star, Radiance.
Oh, wow, that's going to be a lot of alchemists banging at your door.
Yeah, they did not have very good heroes at killing illusions in the last game against eHome. So let's see whether they pick up better heroes to deal with the illusions. Keeper of the Light. The last game their cores actually didn't do very well against illusions. They don't have splash damage like Ember, Battle Fury Cleave, Sven. They don't have those heroes to deal with the illusions.
Yeah, I mean, assuming Fnatic are going to be running this Faceless Void in the offlane and Elder Titan going to be that roaming position 4, what support could Fnatic snap up to really complete this bubble?
I like the Keeper if they want to deal with the illusions, like I said. The other few heroes that could go well with Chronos, Skyrock, but they don't pick Skyrock a lot. I don't think they've ever picked Skyrock recently. Witch Doctor is something they prefer to pick with the Chronosphere, the Death Ward plus Chronosphere. And that's that for them. But those heroes are not very good at killing illusions late game. Keeper is the support that kills illusions the best. And you get Blinding Light for the illusions when they siege high ground.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. I mean, Alchemist illusions, no matter what heroes you have to deal with them, are going to be beefy and burning and yucky to go at. So we'll see if Fnatic are able to go through and maybe take a little bit of an earlier advantage. I mean, in terms of timings, Alchemist will take a little bit to come online.
Yeah, they're taking a very different approach from their series against eHome, where they prioritize a lot on early game, they push early. But FV Elder Titan is a opening where you focus a lot more on team fight. You play a much slower game. You wait for your cooldowns. You play around that, and they're on dire. So you want to use your cooldowns for objectives, and you take it one at a time. So it's a very different approach that they had against eHome.
Yeah, I really like these bans out from Digital Chaos, taking out the Huskar. We've seen a bunch of teams get Huskarred so far, and also taking out the Morphling, another one of those heroes that you can kind of leave, doesn't need a whole lot of babysitting, and it'll just come out, rip roaring, ready to go.
Morphling is also very good against Alchemist because you replicate and the illusions just, man, don't even start that.
Well,
Too much illusions for today, I've seen so many games. Illusions left and right, so
Oh.
draw again.
I think this is going to be more of that traditional, like, just Drow position one, maybe going in for that Aghanim Scepter Maelstrom, because as of now, our Precision Aura is not going to be doing a whole lot for her team.
Depends on their mid hero. Can still use Precision Aura for the mid lane hero to win his lane. It's against Alchemist, you want to be able to punish him from the laning phase.
We've seen
So,
a lot of Drow Storms. Is that something we could see here?
Drow Storm, yeah, that's something EG likes to pick a lot. Drow CM Storm,
That'd be a lot of mana regen coming
mana
at you.
regen and damage for the Storm. It's pretty nice for the hero. And CM is also very good with Elder Titan because he's a hero that needs that mana for the spam of his spirits and the storm, so it'll be really handy for him to have aura on his team. That's something OG likes to do from time to time. CM plus Elder Titan support duo with the Chronosphere. Because CM synergizes pretty well with the Chrono. You have Breathing Field.
Yeah, she can just stand outside and dance, but I worry that would make Fnatic just a little bit too squishy. You've already got heroes like the Alchemist that can just run at you, burn you down, and, CM, Drow, and they just crumble.
They are very early game focused, and you look to win your lanes and snowball from there if you pick CM, yeah. But if you reach to late game and Alchemist has a lot, like 6 slot, usually normal games on average 25 to 30 minutes, you get to your Armlet, Manta, Radiance, Spots, Oxring Core. You have all those items by around then. And if it's a really good game, you have your Shivas on top of that or AC.
All right, so moving forward, DC taking their time for this third pick, dipping heavily into the reserve time, trying to see, do they stop and respond to the Drow Ranger? Do they go for picks that can directly counter her? Or do DC just keep doing their own thing?
With Alchemist pick, I think you want to be able to focus on your own thing. You want to pick a lineup around Alch. It's two options. Either you pick heroes that are very useful with Alchemist Aghanim Scepter upgrades, and you focus on protecting the Alch's farm. You pick heroes that have a good team fight. So when Fnatic eventually wants to smoke and invade the Alchemist jungle to steal his stack, contest his stack, you have heroes that can defend the Alchemist.
All right, so the Kunkka snapped up for DC. The Shadow Demon Kunkka combo we've seen very frequently. Again, you can just go in Disruption into Torrent into X. You can keep the lockdown going for so long. Fnatic pick up their Invoker. Now, they picked it up in their last series, mid one playing that, but didn't have a whole lot of luck. I mean, he kind of had a nice early game, but towards the mid game, he just got run over. Was that E-Home being strong or Invoker being not the best pick?
I don't think he got ran over though. Like the last game was pretty good. He had a lot of solo kills, especially on the Mirana, played by Old Chicken. He got a few solo kills until Mirana decided that he wanted to get Yules, so he doesn't get killed by the combo of Invoker. I think it was just overall the team didn't play as well. I think Invoker played by Midon in the second game was really really good. So we'll see how well he plays this game. He has a lot of setup for Sunstrike, Chrono, and the Stomp from Elder Titan. And DC is gonna go for a very similar lineup that we saw from eHome. Very team fight centric with Kanka and Luna. And like I said, when you have Alchemists, you want to have heroes that have very good team fight. Because it's very likely that the enemy will come in and contest the Alchemist farm when he's doing his stacks, and you need to have big AoE so that you can actually take that fight and defend the Alchemist.
Yeah, DC, though, they're going to have a really strong period of vulnerability before that Alchemist gets his level 6, before Luna gets her first big item, so if Fnatic wanted to, they could just go like Brown Boots Titan and walk around and try to get what they can get done.
Yeah, they'll most likely pressure with Elder Titan roaming around. But it depends on what DC picks for their last hero, because if they pick a very strong off lane, and you need 3 heroes to zone, then Elder Titan can't really move around that much. So what are the strong off lanes available right now for Mu? Against Drow Ranger, Snow Brood will be pretty good.
Bristleback?
I don't think they'll go Bristleback. They need something that doesn't farm that much, like a teamfight hero. It's not bad either. That's still Tide, but Tide doesn't do very well in the laning phase. Against Drow Ranger, you get bullied a lot by the cold arrows.
Oh, they're going to go for the Tide anyway. I mean, he's survivable enough. He can take care of himself, but like you mentioned,
Iron
he's not going to
Talon.
need a lot of focus.
Iron Talon jungle, I mean,
Yeah.
you can't really lane, then you just go Iron Talon. It fits their lineup, teamfight, so you can actually, again, defend the Alchemist. That is their primary focus. They're building their draft around Alchemist. I would say they're pretty decent Axe upgrade. There's no like super good Axe upgrade for their team apart from Kunkas is I don't know.
I mean,
I don't
Luna's
really
is pretty good.
Luna's pretty good and Tide is decent. with the gush.
Well, Kunkka's got that little drag in, everyone
I
join the parade. It's all
I'm not a
right.
fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. But I
I mean,
mean,
I don't think it's crucial. I don't think it's the absolute like Alchemist has to rush Ags, but I think it will help out a little bit. Now, Fnatic picking up the Lion, nice utility support. He's just gonna have that stun, have the Hex, and he will benefit from the Drought Aura.
all in all, their lanes are game pretty solid this time. So I think Tide Hunter has a very high chance that he would want to start Iron Talon jungling. The lane is pretty difficult for him. Draw plus Lion. It's very easy for him to get caught and die in the laning phase. So I expect maybe Iron Talon jungling for Tide, and you go to the lane once you have level 3.
All right, so loading in again. Fnatic, they seem to be able to rotate a little bit earlier if the Drow Ranger gets some nice support in lane. They can go for level 2 or 3 kills. Whereas DC, they really don't want to fight till they have their starting items, till they get Alchemist Radiance, till they get Luna Helm. Do you think that's going to hurt DC at all? Do you think Fnatic's going to be able to capitalize on that?
5 seconds remaining.
Mm, I think both teams are playing on big cooldowns. You have the Chrono plus against the Tide Hunter Ravage, which can work either way. Like if you get a good Ravage off for the targets in front, they can easily Chrono the heroes behind. So it'll be once again like vision, who gets better vision and who gets better laning phase. The Elder Titan, like you talk about from Fnatic, starting with brown boots, possibly running around trying to disrupt the laning phase of DC, and DC wants to get level 6 on their support Kunkka. Their supports needs levels more, like their position 4. Kunkka needs a lot more levels. I mean, Elder Titan needs levels too, but he doesn't need levels to do his thing in the first 5 to 10 minutes. He wants to run around and just stomp, harass the lanes.
All right, so Alchemist is starting out getting that poor man shield. He's got to be pretty survivable here. Going up against that Invoker is going to be a pretty tough task. I mean, Invoker can do a lot of damage level 1. Already has that cold snap out there already.
I mean, the lane would be difficult for him for sure. Precision Aura against an Invoker against Alchemist, but as long as he doesn't get killed by the rotations of Elder Titan and he just gets levels and picks up Bounty Rune, that is the most important thing. His team needs to have heroes to constantly help the Alchemist secure his Bounty Rune. Then his laning phase will be okay, if he can get the Bounty Rune. Right now they're smoked up, so they're not gonna be running into any Fnatic heroes, as Fnatic is gonna contest the bottom lane. So Alchemist will get his first Bounty Rune.
Yep, just going to be a 1-1 rune split. Nothing too crazy, but obviously Alchemist leveling up the Greevil's Creed is going to benefit a lot from that.
Oh, they're sending Mushi bottom lane. So they're kind of expecting maybe an aggressive tri lane, and they want to dodge. And they have Ohio on top to deal with the aggressive tri lane. And meanwhile, for Mu he's gonna run into the Drow Lion lane, which is, I mean, it's okay since right now he's on the safe lane, so it's much easier for him to get XP and farm.
I mean, there can be the wraparound there. DJ started with his brown boot, so we can chase him down. Obviously, Mu very survivable, has a lot of regen to himself, and should eventually be picking up the Iron Talon if he wants to bail. Stomp coming back in, they're able to do a decent chunk of damage to follow up. Mushi just laying in a couple arrows. There's going to be the Earth Spike to follow up. The body blocks are there. Can Mu actually live through this and bring in Saksa? He's going to be going, he does have disruptions. The First Blood goes the way of DJ. That's going to be a fantastic start. They're looking for more Saksa, actually taking a lot of damage just from the Frost arrows. Elder Titan still alive, going to dodge out the Shadow Poison. Should be able to live through these 2 charges easily.
Oh, that was a very good first blood there. Very good coordination by Fnatic there, landing the storm, and they surrounded him with 3 heroes and they got the first blood there. He barely survived there. Would have survived if he had a fairy fire earlier. He has one now, but already gave up first blood.
Oh, Void going in, that level 2 time lock, doing a lot of damage to Misery. And meanwhile in the mid lane, we've got mid 1 once again just pushed up very heavily. There's not a whole lot we can do about it, just spraying down the acid spray, but I think Invoker's firmly in charge of this lane. But down bottom, I mean, does Mu just have to book it out of here? Can he really get anything done?
Just needs levels though. I don't think he cares so much if he gets very little farm from this lane. He's against the tri lane, and as long as they are getting as much farm from the Luna on top, they'll be fine with it. Because their team fight is pretty strong if they get to a mid game.
Oh, the Torrent's gonna connect here. They know Void has no time lock. This could be the time to punch. They go with the Lucent Beam. And looks like Ohio could be fallen victim to this. One more hit from the Luna should be enough. Connects into the trees. And that's gonna be Luna starting out. So putting themselves on the board. Resolution finding something. And oh, we'll see what's gonna happen down bottom as there's a rotation around 3-4-3 looking for something. Has the Hex on the Earth Spike. But isn't gonna jump just yet.
Yeah, that was a really well placed torrent there by a Misery, landing it without any setup and getting the kill onto Ohio. And right now, I mean, 343 is trying to look for the tide, but as long as he plays safe, he stays back and he tries to, like, the best thing he could do is like try to pull the wave, pull the creep wave back with the small camp that isn't blocked here. If he can actually do that, it will be really good for him. So it's gonna allow him to farm at a safe distance around his tower. Yep, he's gonna get the pull off. This is gonna allow him to farm. If you look at the last hit between the Void and the Tide, they are pretty similar.
Another really nice torrent lands. There is going to be the leap away from Ohio, but now he's got nothing more to go in. There's just going to be the level 1 shot, even spraying out the poison, but 3 charges. Nothing to laugh at. Misery doesn't have the X, opted to go for the early Tidebringer.
Way too tanky. He's way too tanky with the
Resolution's got the Lucent Beam. If they can keep vision, they could actually get this done. There is going to be another torrent, not going to be on the mark, but they do get the Lucent Beam off. Ohio just chilling back, is going to be able to eat up some trees, and meanwhile Tidehunter finding a little bit of farm for himself. He's going to feel good, almost level 4 for him.
Yeah, because he's able to pull the creep wave, he's able to get last hits and some farm and some good experience as well.
I mean, is that something that Fnatic need to go through and block? Do they need to make sure that small camp goes away?
Did they miss this block on purpose? Or I'm not sure though, like this sentry is weird right here. They have a sentry here that didn't block the camp.
I think they're trying to make sure there's no observer ward here to scout out any movements in from the dire
Generally,
supports.
you don't have observer wards around this area, so maybe he was trying to block the camp, but he misclicked. Mistakes happen. Because it seems like it's very important that when they're doing this kind of aggressive lane, they want to block the pull camp.
Alright, up top we're going to have a big old clump of heroes. The disruption will come out. They bring in the Luna to follow up the damage here onto DJ. He's going to get torrented up. There's no way he lives through this. He goes for the stomp, but just crushed down before he can put his foot to the ground. And that's going to be Ohio now, the lone survivor in this lane. But Resolution getting a lot of farm. 1-0-1 in terms of last hits, almost keeping pace with the Invoker in the mid lane.
Yeah, but Invoker is bullying the Alchemist a lot right now. Alchemist, like I mentioned, he's gonna have a very tough laning phase, but as long as he's getting bounty runes, he's getting his levels, and he doesn't die.
Can they go for this? There, the Invoker, he's got his Tornado Cold Snap to follow up. If 343 starts with a nice Hex into stun, maybe this could be something going down. Oh, he's taunting. Little does he know.
Little does he know. He has a skill point save up, so deciding whether he wants to get more acid spray or Grievous Greed. Sometimes you might need 1 point in stun to get a kill if an opportunity arises. But generally you just max either your acid or your Grievous Greed just to keep farming.
Yeah, there he goes. Puts the other point into the acid, so he's gonna feel good and gonna be taking out this nice little stack and getting some more gold for himself. And assuming he goes for that first item Midas, it's actually not too far off. Now down bottom, Mushi lane and the Frost Arrows to Moo, but I mean Moo is just so tanky. 2 points into the Kraken Shell, he's alright.
Yeah, he's still getting what he needs, like the levels. Like he doesn't need so much farm right now, considering the lane that he's in against the Drow. As long as he's getting good experience, he gets to his level 6. That's good enough for his team right now, because they're focusing more on resolution, trying to secure his farm more and to help the Alchemist as well, because Alchemist is having a rough time in his laning phase.
And Faceless Void has his level 6, has the Chrono at the ready, and you know, with the Elder Titan walking around, maybe he tries to go for something here. They're gonna catch up Resolution. The Torque can be off the mark. Ohio could be trying to go aggressive here. Nice dash there onto Misery. There's the Chrono to follow up. I mean, just the 1v1 might be enough. The Stomp is gonna come out. They will hold Misery in place, enough for Ohio to get the kill. So just good old RNG there on the bashes, and Resolution has to back up. The Lucent Beam not doing enough to keep his ally alive.
Yeah, right now Fnatic is getting a good amount of farm on the Void, and Invoker's winning his lane, and Drow's getting a lot of farm. So laning phase going well for them, getting farm on all 3 of their cores. But Alchemist will slowly catch up as the game goes by. He's close to getting his armlet. He has the helm already and 400 gold. Didn't choose to complete his soaring with the Sage Mask. Feels like he doesn't need the extra mana.
Yep, he's just going through and have smoke up. There's 2 supports looking for something. They're just going to be wrapping around as Moo's like, hello, guys. Need a little bit of help here. There's going to be a TP rotation in from the Luna. They could just look to drop the base here. They've got the ult. The nice silence comes out. Mushi gets the gust, but will pay with her life. That's going to be a very dead Drow Ranger looking for the TP out, but there is going to be the X marks the spot, but no. Unfortunately, they drop the Lion before he's even able to go home and get a sweet taste of freedom. That's going to be a lot of kills going the way of Resolution now. 3-0-1. Luna's doing very well in terms of last hits and net worth. She's almost top of the chart.
Yeah, very good rotation by DC. So they're gonna be able to get a very key kill onto Mushi here. Draw Ranger. Don't want to die too much in the early game. It's gonna put you in a very, very bad spot. Man. For now, is there any ancient stacks for the Tide? Nope. No ancient stacks for Tide or Luna or the Alchemist. Those heroes can really, really use that if they have an opportunity to stack. Because at some point they need to move one of the cores into the jungle and give lanes to, especially the Kunkka, to get levels.
Smoke in. It looks like Fnatic are trying to go through and trying to make something happen, but DC seem to be keen on this, backing off and getting themselves set up. They still have the Resolution Eclipse. They haven't actually dropped that on the Luna yet, so we'll see who's going to be the first to reveal. Mid one thinks, oh, there's someone there. Poison sprayed out. Is no one else going to be making the first move.
They see the ward though.
Yeah.
They know there's an observer ward behind. They're very, very careful right now. Kunkka's level 4, so doesn't have his boat yet. Resolution has his Eclipse. So if Fnatic go for a dive here, they might be able to turn this around with the Eclipse. TP, they have a TP on Alchemist, they have a TP on Tide. Tide is Ravage.
They go for the stomp. Deep connect here. It looks like
Tide
Fnatic just going all in. There's going to be the Eclipse dropped up. They immediately get the pick onto the line. Loosen Beam to slow down Mushi. They are able to go through. Nice chrono though. Ohio gets the job done with raw right click damage from Mushi. They might be able to turn this. There's going to be a nice stomp there from DJ. And now Moo going to be the target. They do bring in Misery and the rest of the teams. They're looking for something more. There will be the glimpse back from the corner. That's going to be the X marks the spot. Ravage popped out. Ohio taken out of the field mid one. Trying to walk away. Do they have any sort of detection?
Nope.
Oh no, they don't. It's pretty early on in the game, but you should be anticipating that Ghost Walk.
Yeah, but it's difficult for them to have, they're running around, they're not getting much farm, like all the cores are taking all the lanes, so the supports are very poor. They can't really afford to get sentries that early. They have to be able to maybe secure some objectives, or like I said, give a lane to one of the supports to farm and get levels. They need their levels badly. So it's a all in all 1-for-1 trade. They traded a Void for the Luna. I'd say maybe Fnatic coming on top of that, trading their offlane for the safe lane carry of DC.
Yeah, and the chrono was already used. It was used well. It helped set up a kill, so it wasn't like a totally whiffed ulti. So
Top lane.
Oh yeah, they're going back in. They will be able to get something done. The cold snap coming onto Resolution. The Satyr Blast as well. This neutral says, get off my lawn. And that's going to be some poison sprayed out. Not going to be doing a whole lot there. 3-4-3 ticking kind of low. Another stack of poison. Oh, the Loosen Beam just drops him down. That poor lion could not stay alive.
Yeah, just got caught out of position and he was chasing way too far. It's very, very easy kill for DC there, punishing the fact that Lion got out of position. I mean, overall right now DC is just looking, just continuously get more farm on the Alchemist and it's gonna be able to get another bounty rune. Get to his Radiance timing, that's what DC wants to get to right now. They are not really too keen to keep forcing fight, but for Fnatic they want to use their draw right now to take objectives.
Looks like they're going to be doing so. She's able to lay a little bit of damage onto the bottom tower. But now Kunkka comes in. She'll be able to make a formidable defense. He's got himself a ghost ship and half a level and a couple more creeps. I mean, he's able to go and at least have that pause button for the next team fight. Spirit going in, harassing everyone back. And well, for now, Alchemist is getting some really good farm. He's now top of the net worth chart, getting the most out of that new armor, the Greevil's Greed, maxed out. You know, when does Alchemist start participating in these team fights, or does he just farm till the end of time?
Well, like I said, you want to get to your Radiance. So before that happens, you don't. I mean, he can't really. He don't really need to wait for it if they commit to dive under the tower. Right now with the armlet, he can still come to fights.
Kunkka boat just going in, clearing out the creep wave, I guess. But there's gonna be a Spirit coming back in, chasing Misery around. They can go for the stop.
It's dangerous for them to dive, so they know there's a Tide nearby with Ravage, and Luna could easily just TP him with Eclipse. So they have to be very, very cautious about moving past the tower like this. Mushi is not at full HP, as at half health right now. They're not in condition to fight.
Almost fresh out. Invoker has no charges in the urn, so we can't heal up his buddy. And now there's going to be a Torrent coming in. Does connect onto mid one, but again, no follow-up damage. Just going to be DC holding everyone at bay. And like you mentioned, the threat of the TP in Eclipse is real, so everyone has to be a bit careful. Moo also has the Ravage at the ready. The Fnatic, they're going to be playing with fire here, but a couple more clicks onto the tower should mean that Drow Ranger gets her first structure.
Well, DC seems like they want to defend this. Boat is up in 8 seconds. They're very ultimate up, and Saksa is returning towards the bottom lane. And they're already camping here for like, what, the past minute? See, the boat.
Going in once again, not going to connect, so secondary with both the Torrent to follow up. There's going to be a cold snap onto Misery. He's running around like a chicken with his head cut off, just going in, trying to see what he can get done, just being the little scapegoat for his team, trying to occupy them so the rest of his allies can get out alive. But unfortunately, that's going to be the second time Kunkka's given his life, and that goes straight to the Drow Ranger.
That was very poorly coordinated though. I think if they wanted to TP in heroes, they had to TP in early, because if they do not want to defend the tower, why are the two heroes there for such a long time? It was clear that they wanted to defend the tower, but the other heroes were not there in position to defend it. They needed to TP the Luna in a lot earlier, so that they have the Ravage plus Eclipse.
Moo now just manning up, really wants to get something done. He's saving up. He's going to be going for the mechanism before picking up his Blink Dagger, just so he can have a little bit more sustain for himself. Now Radiance completed for the Alchemist. That is pretty well timed at 13 minutes on top of his armlet.
Yeah, it's the average timing. 13 to 14 minutes, any average out game. You get it around this time.
Oh, pings out. DJ just stumbling right into Soxa. Going to be taking a couple of ticks of Shadow Poison, going for the stomp, but the disruption channels it out. Looks like we might end up stunning himself, but no, they get it off. The Lucent Beam just dropped down. Oh, poor little Titan.
He was trying to place the default down.
Mid one is going to get stunned up here. Might be the trade. And yeah, he's going to be going in and taking a lot of damage, but again, no detection. He just walks away completely scot-free.
I mean, the first one it was excusable, but this one is not excusable. It's fast back invoker. They have to bring detection when they're trying to get in.
I mean, worst comes to worst, they've got the Ravage, but now bringing in Mushi. It looks like Moo's going to be the one in trouble. They bring in Ohio, goes for the Chrono, connects one. There will be a boat coming out. There's going to be the Torrent, or rather the Ravage. Holding everyone in place, so Ohio doesn't get anything out of that Chronosphere, but looks like the raw damage should be enough to finish off Moo. They hex him up, and he's not going to be hitting the deck right there, and that is going to be a very, very dead tide.
That was not a very well-placed chrono initially, but I was thinking that he might have to chrono the Tide to prevent Tide from getting off the Ravage, but still, his teammates couldn't come over because the chrono was a little bit like separating both of the heroes.
Misery thinks he's safe on the staircase, but gonna get stomped up the cold snap as well. The negative earn proc and that one down, and one more hit means that is a dead Kunkka Invoker, having a much easier game than last time. I mean, how's the pace of this game looking? It seems like Mushi and the Drow now able to go through and take those objectives. Is this what Fnatic needs to do, or do they need to be even more aggressive?
But with every cooldown, yes, they should be forcing towers, trying to initiate.
Oh man, I don't think they get the kill on this Alchemist, but they're looking. They will get the Earth Spike off now. Mushi's gonna bring in the damage. There is gonna be that disruption up. But now Stomp holds both in place. The EMP burning all the mana. Oh, the Earth Splitter as well, just locking him in. Boat comes through, not gonna connect onto anyone, but man, DJ on his Titan is getting the job done.
They didn't get the Alchemist though, so I don't think it's a big deal for DC. SD dying for the carry there. It's okay for them. As long as Alchemist is constantly farming, getting more items, I'm more than happy to sacrifice one support for that. Like, he did his job.
Yeah, the problem is if those little pickups keep happening and Fnatic don't get punished for it, it seems like DC are going to be falling kind of behind. I mean, looking at the net worth chart...
If they're killing the supports only, I don't think it's an issue. As long as they're not killing the cores. Because Alchemist farms so quickly with the Grievous Grid. Every time you don't kill him and the support gives their life to keep the Alchemist alive, it's always worth it. And for Fnatic, they need to get all those bigger kills when they try to move around with their big spells, especially the Chrono.
Yeah, Chrono now coming back off cooldown, so maybe Fnatic can look for something. I mean, do you think Fnatic have the luxury to kind of sit back and wait for big items, or do they have to just keep going full aggressive?
Yeah, they just need to keep doing what they're doing now. Force the towers when they have big spells, and when they have the corner up, get anything like Roshan, Tower, keep getting items. Mushi right now has, he's going into a Shadow Blade. I guess Silver Edge is really good versus the Tide. And the other usage of the Shadow Blade is because Alchemist would most likely going to be pushing lanes alone a lot of the time, so having that Shadow Blade will give you a lot of opportunities to try and catch him or set up for your team.
Right, the wraparound going in, smoke up all of DC rotating towards this top lane. I think Mushi might be a little bit cautious, knowing something's up, knowing none of the heroes are on the map right now, but are they going to dive tower together? Oh yeah, looks like they're going to be doing just that, going in Demonic Purge, gush up. Mushi's fighting with her last breath, but killed under her tier 2 tower. That Drow Ranger In a heap of trouble now. This could be a stop coming back in. Ohio's able to go through the Chrono just onto one, though the loose keep to stop him in place. He's gonna have to back out. Failed Chrono, the Ravage to come back in. Ohio into serious trouble. Not able to leap away from that one. Another cast to move him out, and that's gonna be a stun there onto DJ. Getting burned down there from the Alchemist. Trying to go in, trying to get the stomp off, but not gonna be successful. DC are able to go through and take a nice fight off of Fnatic, gonna turn it into a tier 2 tower as well.
Well, that was a very big blunder by Ohio. They're jumping in and not getting a big chrono. That chrono was just a big misplay there by Fnatic. Once the chrono was there and they only use it on one hero, DC immediately understands that they are going to be able to dive without the chrono, and Mu just ran up, got a 2 or 3 man Ravage, and the fight was basically over after that.
Yeah, that was a really, really nice use of the Ravage there from the Tidehunter, and he is going to finish off the Mechanism and can be going towards his Blink Dagger now. How's that going to change the pace of the fights?
Well, Blink is just going to be very, very important against a Void, because when he jumps your team with Chrono, you want to blink behind the Chrono to get your Ravage off to stop the follow-up. I wouldn't say it changes the pace of the team fight, it's just you need it to approach and to deal with the Chronosphere as a Tidehunter.
Now mid one's Invis here, but he did walk underneath the Sentry Ward, so it looks like all the Radiant know he's there. Do they actually have the dust now? Man, first time, second time maybe excusable, but there's still not a whole lot of vision coming out of DC right now.
Good, they're gonna see him with the Sentry there.
Yeah.
But didn't get the X mark off, wasn't in range. Just a level 2 X mark. I mean, right now Fnatic, they still want to constantly pressure because
Misery just goes in, bumps right into 343. They end up dropping the Finger of Death. There's the Mechanism there from the Titan. He goes in with the Gush, and now there's going to be the Luna dropping something there. She wants to get something done. She's still got the Eclipse to hold on to. Misery getting very, very low, but Mushi going to be the first one dead. They're looking for more. Mid one is going to be Invis. They popped down the Sentry. They are able to get off the Axe this time. Going back into the torrent. Another Sentry to secure the kill. He just popped down. Aegis popping in mid-air. Looks like they should be able to get in. There's a nice stomp to follow up with the boat. Is going to be there. That the Unstable Concoction will be able to hold him in place. And that's 2 cores dead.
That was a brilliant disruption by Saksa there, keeping the Conquer alive so he can actually use his X mark after that to make sure that the Invoker doesn't escape. That was just very big play by Saksa right there. Well-timed disruption.
Yeah, this is DC playing very cleanly now. Ohio on his own in the mid lane trying to get something done, but it seems like DC are really starting to hit their stride now. Almost 10,000, or rather almost 7,500 in terms of net worth advantage for them.
Yeah, Alchemist is just putting his team in a very good position with the network that he's getting.
Oh, immediate Chrono popped out, but there's an X. He's just running around Ohio. It just mission failed. He goes in, pops a Chrono, at least buys some time for his team, forces rotations, but it seemed like he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
That was bad though. He was trying too hard to get something done after that failed fight at bottom for Fnatic, but he got caught, forced out the Chrono, and right now Fnatic can't really take a team fight without that. And DC have all their cooldowns up, have the Ravage, have the Mech, have the Eclipse. So let's see whether DC will be able to, I mean they should be able to try and pressure, but they don't need to because they have Alchemist Luna. Their scaling in terms of late game is very, very strong.
Oh, they're going into Wii right now. They really want to make something happen. Mid one's going to have a smoke pop, but not able to actually find the engage. So Fnatic just with a little bit more time wasted. Do you think Fnatic are going to get desperate soon and make some pretty big blunders?
I mean they have to try and play around the chrono, especially.
Oh, Ohio gonna get stunned in place. No time to time walk.
So he was just caught at a very, farming at a very, very bad position there. Was not really much to say about that. It just, I don't know, the players have a long day. You see this, like Mystics have been creeping it into their games a lot. Especially this game from Fnatic. They're not very organized.
Tower trade 1 for 1. Looks like the mid lane gonna get cleaned up by the Radiant bot lane. There is gonna be some push in, so Drow Ranger at least getting something done, helping her team out, getting a decent amount of farm, but I mean when you look at the net worth, it seems like Luna and Alchemist both just running her over in terms of game impact.
I mean this is what happens when your draw lineup doesn't really work too well in terms of the mid game and plus the objectives. He got a pretty decent, pretty good early game, but then they lost team fights, bad chronos happen here and there. Alchemist just gets killed on top of his great goal, and this is what happens.
Alright, so everyone's sitting back, Fnatic, eager to take the next team fight. They know they've got to do something. They're running out of gas
Yeah.
rapidly, and it seems like the later they push this, the more difficult they're making it for themselves.
Yeah, plus they have a cross-max invoker. They are under a lot of pressure to get stuff done, but it's not going to be easy for them because they are in a very bad position right now. DC have very, very strong heroes at taking team fight, and Fnatic right now, you're desperate. Yes, you're desperate to get stuff done, but enemy has very strong team fight and you're behind in terms of net worth. So it's very, very difficult. They need BKBs on Brawl and Invoker, BKB on Void at some point.
Oh, Invoker going in, shows off the new Orc, he gets the cold step on the Soxa, but might have to pay with his life. There's just gonna be the mechanism there. He's completely fine. The boat latches onto mid one. They have to follow up damage the boat, or rather the drums popped out, but it seems like DC don't really have a clear battle call. Not gonna jump in just yet. There is gonna be the tornado coming back up from the Invoker, trying to catch someone there. Tidehunter is still hot on their heels. The rest of Fnatic gonna be wrapping around. Ohio does have the chrono at the ready. If he can find a nice one, that's great. Now TP in. I think we might regret that one. He's gonna be running straight back. Will pop out the Manta. Is gonna get cold snapped up. They've got DJ there looking for some of the BKB. Is gonna be popped out from Resolution, looking to drop the base there. Has the Eclipse at the ready. Doesn't even need it. Just uses the Lucent Beam a couple of times. There's gonna be DJ trying to TP out. Can they actually do the damage? Oh, they get the X off though. That sweet taste of freedom, but
Oh, he got the Use off. Oh, that was
Yeah.
very well done. He couldn't get the X mark off because other Titan was self-yield there, so... But it's just a very small victory. Fnatic on the big picture is still in a very, very bad spot right now with their lineup. Alchemist and Luna constantly pulling ahead in farm, net worth as the game progresses, and they have much better team fight than Fnatic right now, so Fnatic is just running out of options here if they don't take a successful team fight anytime soon. Now Tide has a blink. It's just gonna make it harder and harder for them.
I mean, do you think Fnatic can actually take this to the high ground defense? I mean, with Invoker, with Chronos, maybe it's possible, but...
Yeah, but what are you stalling out for? The enemy has Shadow Demon, Luna, and Alchemist. If you're defending your high ground, you're not gonna win the game. You're just waiting to lose. So they have to be able to push the enemy high ground, not defend their own high ground.
Alright, so everyone coming back in. Resolution, getting an illusion rune just to add insult to injury. This Luna making more and more kitty cats. She is just having a really, really nice game for herself. Already picking up that BKB at 9 seconds. She used the first charge up in that fight up top, but she's still got so much more time on that thing. And I mean, you look at the comparable farm on the Drow Ranger, and it's just not there. I mean, she's got a Shadow Blade, she's got Dragonlance for stats, but where's the damage?
I mean, she has a lot of damage from her ultimate. I don't think she needs any. Like, Drow doesn't really build damage items right now. You just build stats and you need BKB against their lineup. That's what she needs right now. As long as she has the BKB, she's able to stand and dish out damage team fight. But right now, she is gonna have it in. If she decides to go for it, she's gonna have it in 900 gold.
We'll see what she's going to go for here. It could be that BKB that she can fight. It could be something, maybe more YOLO. Either way, we are going to have the tower falling down and maybe even some high ground push coming out here. Resolution going to get disrupted up by Zoxa, and that means more and more Lunas joining the party. Going into this tier 3 tower, starting the harass onto the high ground. Drow Ranger finally TP's back. You've got DJ and 343. The supports have to ready to go in. 343 just getting pummeled down, dragged back in, torn up. Oh god, poor little line. He's trying his hardest as the Manta up from Weehaw, looking for something there as Mushi staying on the back lines, trying to just stay safe, stay out of the fight. She picks herself up the Maelstrom. So she is going to go for that Ags build eventually, and now just spraying out the lightning, looking for something, but these racks are already heavily under siege. Mid one, going to be stuck up in the torrent. I mean, the follow-up will be there. They are able to go through, and that's going to be a very dead Invoker. He has buyback if necessary. Will pop it. They are able to get the Chrono off onto 2. Do they have the follow-up damage, though? It's going to be the Luna drop the base, and that's going to be a big, big kill if they can get it, but Faceless Void drops. They do have to lose the Shadow Demon, but that's worthwhile. And this seems like it could be a very, very quick GG coming out in favor of DC.
Oh, I wonder what was the Drow trying to do there. Just ran forward and he just, I don't know, out of position.
Yeah,
I mean, without a BKB, he got a Maelstrom. Like, without a BKB, there's no way he survives the team fight. There's no way. I don't know what he was thinking there.
Yeah, Alchemist with almost 4k gold. Do
Yep.
you think he goes for another greedy item, or does he go for an accent here?
I mean, he can just end the game right now with Shiva for AC. I don't think he needs to pull anyone Axe. They get Roshan, they get an AC or Shivas on Alchemist, they're gonna end the game. There's no more time left for Fnatic. I don't see them being able to defend the next push anymore. They're too far behind.
Yeah, it's about 25,000 net worth in favor of DC. I mean, a good portion of that sitting on the Alchemist with 25,000 net worth to himself. Now, there's no vision here. They know mid one's nearby, but no sentries
There's
once
nothing
again.
he can do. There's nothing he can do.
Yeah.
They're just gonna
Oh,
like
Conga with the gem.
Luna got her butterfly, so disruption illusions are gonna get even more powerful.
I
And
mean, mid one's just YOLOing here, trying to get something done. They're going to
they
go for the wraparound,
they
but
don't need to just they don't need to do anything to the invoker. They just need to group up and just end the game right now.
yeah, I mean, you can feel Fnatic are in a really desperate place trying to figure out what they can possibly do. There will be some split push coming out. The Faceless Void, not exactly the fastest tower pusher in the world.
He's gonna buy Aghanim's for someone. That's what they're waiting for. I mean, I don't think they need to do any Aghanim's pull. Is he gonna give it to? I
I'm
mean,
thinking Luna.
SD is pretty decent too. If they want to give it to him, yeah, I guess Luna is most likely like candidate. He's
Well,
one of the best Aghanims up
it's
there.
not Kunkka. We'll see. Oh, Tidehunter swimming. He's going in the trees. We'll see who's going to get the lucky present. Will it be the Luna? Will it be the Shadow Demon walking back and forth? It will be the Luna. So we got big old Eclipse coming at you.
You put the Eclipse on the tide and he blinks in, yeah?
Oh god, that looks like it hurts. There will be a concoction channeled up. Mushi goes in with the Shadow Blade, but again, it's going to be the Vision on the Kunkka. Oh god, they're just going in. That's going to be one loosened beam to do the job. Mushi getting slapped out. It seems like it could be game. There's no buyback on Drow.
Void used his buyback just now.
Yeah, GG comes out. So DC, after a difficult series last time, will take a game off Fnatic in a very, very quick fashion there.
Fnatic played this game very, very poorly. They underperformed so much. I mean, this lineup is pretty good, like overall after their laning phase, but their coordination and the way they move around as a team after that was just terrible. Like there was no synchronization between each other. They didn't use their spells well. I mean, it was just a disaster. Itemization, team play, everything was very bad from Fnatic that game. It's just very, very bad game. Oh my god.
So they've got to shape
They
up
have
for
to-
game number 2.
They have to get their act together the next